Good morning, everybody. It's a cool, crisp day here in Houston, Texas. Today is December 17th, 2019. And just a common theme that's been going on around a lot, just in life and business and personal interactions, is, has a lot to do with loss, yet it has a lot to do with relationships. And so I felt compelled to share kind of my ideology, my philosophy on just human life, loss, the struggle, things like that. And so it's kind of crazy because there's certain people right now that I know that are going through struggles. I have people that reach out to me about just substance abuse and things like that, and I do my best to help them. I have people that reach out to me and say, "Oh, my cousin's using, and I'd like you to talk to him," or "My son's not doing the thing he's supposed to do too. Can you talk to him?" And just a lot of different organizations like that, and people reaching out to me. And another thing is, actually, this is going to sound a little crazy, but people reaching out and saying, life is so good for me right now that I'm afraid that the other shoe's going to drop, and I'm a little worried. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my philosophy on that, and I'll tell you, you know, um, we have to appreciate the seasons of life. We have to understand what they're saying to us, what's going on. Not every human being is meant to be in your life forever. It's impossible. We are all meant to simply have seasons. Some seasons are taken from us by death. Seasons are taken from us by people making the wrong choices. Some seasons are taken by us making the right choices. And I just want us to look at seasons in general. So if you're in that season where things are rough and things aren't going well, or if you're in that season where relationships not working right, or if you're in that season where things are going amazing, like regardless of what is going on in your season, number one, understand that every season was meant for you. Like it's perfect. Like God created it for you, you and that other human being, you and what you're going through, the struggle. Like God doesn't make mistakes. And I learned this the hard way. I'll tell you, growing up, my mom that chose to raise me, she adopted me as her own. I came home when I was 17 years old, and I found her. She had passed away in our house, and it was a very difficult time for me. And from like 17 to 21, I was so mad at God, even though I really didn't believe in God most of my life. I didn't understand who He was. I really hadn't been, had a relationship with Him, but I was really upset with God. Like, how could you do this? And the only person that I felt like truly cared for me as a parent, like, why? And when I was 21, I met my wife and we formed a relationship. She actually brought me to church, and I began to look back. I began to look back at my time with my mom, and I began to understand that God didn't take her from me at 17. He gave me 17 years with her. She was an angel. I mean, she was a redheaded Irish woman, and I was a dark, curly-headed little Mexican kid. And she absolutely treated me as if I was her own. And as I look back, I look at the season, and it couldn't have been any more perfect. So my father wasn't the greatest man in my life. My birth mother, I don't feel like she chose to be a part of my life. And this woman volunteered in my life, and that was our season together. And I got 17 years of amazing season. What I will tell you is, as a kid, you don't understand what a season is and what's doing and how to really embrace it. You take it for granted most of the time, and that's my only pain in that is that I, I wish I would have understood what I knew now, because guys, in your seasons with other human beings, don't don't wonder when it's going to end. Don't be upset when it ends. Don't like don't dwell on those type of things. And I tell the people around me, like, to worry is to doubt God's plan. Like, stop doing that. Live in the moment, embrace the season. Understand, if you're going through a really great stretch in life, like, embrace what it is right now. Embrace the seasons you have with other human beings, and make sure that each person that God's putting in your life for that season, get everything you can out of that relationship. Be present in that relationship. Tell them how much you love them. Pour into them. When they want to pour into you, receive their blessings. Like, guys, stop waiting for the other shoe to drop when things are going great. And when things aren't going so great, respect the season for what it is and understand that God's got a plan in that moment. It may suck. It may feel horrible. You may absolutely hate it. Yet Love it for what it will do for you. Understand that growth comes when you're going through adversity. Like, I learned more about who I was through the passing of my mom than probably any other time in my life. I learned more that, I had a lot of rough edges and there were a lot of problems with me and I had a lot of issues and I needed to be alone for a while because I was a very angry individual. And people growing up with me can vouch for this. I drank a lot and I threw fists, and that was kind of what I was known for. And that alone time, that time to be in my own head and respect the relationship I had with my mom and look back and just, be a little angry, yet get through that and work through those problems. Guys, that was a season too. That was a season for me to be alone and understand who I was. So if you are struggling right now, guys, slow down and listen. There's something God's trying to tell you. Like, listen, like, be still, focus, and understand there's something for you, and it can be beautiful if you let it. If you're going through an amazing season, like when I was a kid growing up, I got to be honest, between so many losses and so many things happening and wondering why did my mom not love me? Why, all these different things that were going through my head. I felt like things would never be good. Like every time you go through like 3 to 6 months of life seeming great, boom, something bad's going to happen. I grew up thinking that, yet it wasn't true because I had blessings all around me. The first biggest blessing was there was a woman who was not my mom who chose to love me as if I was her own. That's amazing. You know, I could have dwelled on, oh, my mom and oh, my dad and all these other problems, and I chose to focus on something different. And as I got older, I began to realize how important and how powerful it was. So I know that while you're in the struggle, you may not want to hear this crap. You may not even care to embrace this. You may not care to try to understand this, but I hope one day you grab this and you do something with it. And maybe if you are in your struggle, maybe this is exactly what you need to hear. And just know that, you know, nothing great comes of the really easy times. Like, you make memories and all those things, but we're talking about true greatness and becoming who you are. Like, growing into the best version of yourself. Guys, it comes when things are really, really crappy. And I'm sorry to say that. And I wish it was better. And I wish there was something different to say, but that's facts. And I want you guys to understand that there's somebody out there that loves you. There's somebody out there that wants a season with you. That wants a real season in a relationship with you. And there's somebody out there right now that's in a season relationship that I bet you're not giving everything to that you possibly can. And I want you to slow down and embrace the season. Crappy, amazing, whatever the season in is, love it for what it can be for you guys. And I hope this helps somebody. I really, really do hope this helps somebody. I love you guys. If you ever need anything, give me a shout. Y'all have a great day.